영상 좋고 조작 나쁘지 않고 좋아요. 게임 시작. 오늘 할 게임은 스탠리 패러블 알집 9.1 버전으로 업데이트가 필요합니다. 뭐야 스킵됐어. 다시 뭐야 다시 오케이.
This is the story of a man named Stanley.
스탠리란 남자의 이야기입니다.
Stanley worked for a company in a big building where he was employee number 427. Employee number
427번
427's
직원의
job was
업무는
simple.
간단했습니다.
He sat at his desk
방에
in room
책상에 앉아 키보드에
427
버튼을 누르는
and he
것이죠.
pushed buttons on a keyboard. Orders came to him through a monitor on his desk.
지시는 책상 위의 모니터를 통해 어떤 버튼을 누를지 얼마나 오랫동안 누를지 어떤 수를 누를지 전달됐습니다.
This is what employee 427 did every
427번
day,
직원이 매달
every
매년 했던
month
일입니다.
of
다른 사람들이 이런
every
것이
year.
고리타분하고도
And although
많았지만
others might have considered it soul-rending, Stanley relished every moment that the orders came in, as though he had been made exactly for this job. And Stanley was happy. And then one day, something very
그러다 어느
peculiar
날
happened.
이상한 일이 일어났습니다.
Something that would forever
스탠리의
change
인생을 완전히
Stanley.
바꿔버리고
Something he would never
그가
quite
절대로
forget.
잊지 못할 일이 말입니다.
He had been at his desk for nearly an
책상
hour
앞에서
when he
거의 한 시간
realized that not
앉아있었지만
one
스탠리는 알지도
single order had arrived on the monitor for him to follow. No one had showed up to give him
아무도 스탠리 앞에
instructions,
나타나서 지시를
call a
회의를
meeting,
하자고 하거나
or
항상 하지
even say
않았습니다. 이런 완벽한 버릇
hi.
상태는 그가
Never in all his
이해서
years at the
동안
company
한 번도
had
없었던
this
일입니다.
happened. This complete isolation. Something was very clearly wrong.
무언가 잘못된 것이
Shocked,
틀렸습니다.
frozen
놀라고 어렵던
solid,
상태에서
Stanley
스탠리는
found himself
어떤
unable to
없었습니다.
move for the longest time. But as he came to his wits and regained his senses, he got up from his stepped out of his office.
걸어 나왔습니다. 걸어 나왔습니다부터 매일 키보드만 뚜리도 되겠다. 지시가 안 내려오고 있어.
All of his co-workers
무슨
were
일일까요?
gone. What could it mean? Stanley
무슨
decided to
일일까요?
go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
떨어져 있어요 이런 게 문서가. 다 잠겨 있어요. 숫자가 있네. 420. 뭐죠? 상수인가요?
When Stanley came to a set of two open doors, he entered the door on his left.
뜬뜨른 뜬뜨뜨르 왼쪽 오른쪽 짜장면 짬뽕 짜장면 짬뽕 짜장면 상추인가요? 회의실인가?
Yet there was not a single person here
아무도
either.
없네.
Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping he might find an answer there.
화장실로. 게임 진짜 이상하다.
Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
장애인 정신병 걸릴 것 같아 게임이. 이게 좋아. 확실히 화장실. 비서가 앉아 있어야 될 것 같은데. 와.
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life.
사장님 저 사표 쓸게요.
Unraveled, Stanley wondered in
사장님!
disbelief who
사장님 어디
orchestrated
계세요?
this. What dark secret was being held from him?
뭘까요?
What he could not have known was that the keypad behind the boss's desk guarded the terrible truth that his boss had been keeping from him. And so the boss had assigned it an extra
근데 알려줘?
secret pin number, 2845. But of course, Stanley couldn't possibly have known this.
알턱이 없지만 사장님의 전화번호 뒷자리가 2845 2845.
Yet incredibly, by simply pushing
뭐였어?
random buttons on the keypad, Stanley happened to input the correct code by sheer
진짜네?
luck. amazing. He stepped into the newly opened passageway.
오? 뭐야, 연기해야 되는 게임이야? 이건가? 오? 오? 뭐지? 여기 비밀 통로가 있네? 호그와트야? 오? 좋았어. 사장님 전화번호 뒷자리가 둘판 넷 오다란 걸 기억해낸 나는 비밀 통로를. 오, 엘리베이터. 오! 왠지 휘둘릴 것 같아, 이 게임 이거.
To question the nature of his job. Why did he feel this now, when for years it had never occurred to him? This question would not go unanswered for long.
까마귀 배태진이 한 개 팩으로 고맙습니다.
Stanley walked straight ahead through the large door that read Mind Control Facility.
정신지배기관. 탈출도 할 수 있고 여기로 들어갈 수도 있어요. 탈출하면 끝나나? 가봐야지. 데미건이 한 개 고맙습니다. 뭐야 이거? 누르면 뭔가 나올 것 같다.
The lights rose on an enormous room packed with television screens. What horrible secret did this place hold?
뭐야 텔레비전이야 이거?
Stanley thought to himself. Did he have the strength to find out?
우와! 라라라 김상덕이. 어머. 설마 이거 누르면.
Now the monsters jumped to life, their true nature revealed. Each bore the number of an employee in the building.
와, 다 보고 있었단 말이야 이렇게?
The lives of so many individuals reduced to images on a screen. And Stanley,
사장 새끼!
eternally monitored in this place, where freedom and
이 세계를 썩었어. 되는 거야 이거. 물로 위로 올라가는 거.
this mind control facility, it was too horrible to believe. It
fired.
couldn't be
해고당했다.
true. Had Stanley really been under someone's control all this time? Was this the only reason he was happy with his emotions had been manipulated to accept it blindly? No. He refused to believe it. He couldn't accept it. His own life in someone else's control. Never. It was unthinkable. Wasn't it? Was it even possible? Had he truly spent his entire life utterly blind to the world? But here was the proof. The heart of the operation. Controls labeled with emotions. Happy or sad or content. Walking, eating, working. All of it monitored and commanded from this very place. And as the cold reality of his past began to sink in, Stanley decided that this machinery would never again exert its terrible power over another human life. For he would dismantle the controls once and for all.
아저씨 내가 하지도 않은 짓을 그렇게 할 거라고 예상하고 그러시면 마인드 컨트롤 저기서 뭔가 하는 건데 해설이 하라는 대로 해야 되겠죠? 오프 시켜버리면 끝나나? 지금 온 돼 있는 건가?
Oh, Stanley, you didn't just activate the controls, did you? After they kept you enslaved all these years, you go and you try to take control of the machine for yourself.
지배해,
Is that what
그렇지!
you wanted?
내가 모든 걸 지배해주겠어.
Stanley, I applaud your effort, I really do. But you need to understand, there's only so much that machine can do. You were supposed to let it go, turn the controls off, and leave. If you want to throw my story off track, you'll never have to do much better than that. I'm afraid you don't have
네가 말하는
nearly the
대로.
power you think you do. For example,
네가
and I
원하는 대로.
believe you'll find this pertinent. Stanley suddenly realized
그렇게 해서
he had
시작했어.
just initiated
내
the
인생의
network's
내 거란 말이야.
emergency detonation system. In the event that this machine is activated without proper DNA identification,
핵폭 장치를
nuclear detonators are set to explode, eliminating the entire
말도 안 돼.
complex.
대망했다.
How long until detonation then?
2분 야 엔딩이야 엔딩. 어떻게 2분 안에 엔딩 보겠다.
2 minutes. Ah, now this is making things a little more fun, isn't it, Stanley? It's your time to shine. You are the star. It's your story now. Shape it to your heart's desires. Oh, this is much better than what I had in mind. What a shame we have so little time left to enjoy it. Mere moments until the bomb goes off. But what precious moments each one of them is. More time to talk about you, about me, where we're going.
다 눌러 다 눌러 다 눌러.
This means I barely know where to start.
나갔는데 어딨어 나갔는데.
What's that? You'd like to know where your co-workers are?
뭐야 뭐
A moment
눌렀어
of
뭐 눌렀어
solace
뭐 눌렀어
before
뭐
you're
눌렀어.
obliterated.
뭐야 뭐 어떻게 된 거야?
Alright.
문 열어줘 문 열어줘.
You're gonna die anyway.
아!
I'll tell you exactly what happened.
야 어떻게?
I erased them.
야 다 눌러 다.
I turned off the machine. I set you free. Of course, that was merely in this instance of the story. Sometimes when I tell it, I simply let you sit there in your office
나는
forever.
당신의 사무실에 영원히
Dying alone. Other times, I let the office sink into the ground, swallowing air.
다 눌러 다 눌러 다 눌러.
I let it burn to a crisp. I have to
네,
say
네,
this,
1분 남았어, 1분 남았어.
this version of events has been rather
다 눌러 다
amusing.
눌러.
Watching you try to make sense of everything and take back the control wrested away from you, it's quite rich. I almost hate to see it go. But I'm sure whatever I come up with on the next go-around will be even better. My goodness, only 34 seconds left. But I'm enjoying this so much. You know what? To hell with it. I'm going to put some extra time on the clock.
진짜?
Why not?
오.
These are precious additional seconds, Stanley. Time doesn't grow on trees.
인정
Oh dear
많은데.
me, what's the matter, Stanley? Is it
그냥
that you have
꺼버리면 안
no
되나?
idea where you're going or what you're supposed to be doing right now? Or did you just assume when you saw that timer that something in this room was capable of turning it off? I mean, look at you. Running from button to button, screen to screen, clicking on every little thing in this room. These numbered buttons, no, these colored ones. Or maybe this big red button, or this door. Everything, anything, something here will save me. Why would you think that, Stanley? That this video game can be beaten? Won? Solved? Do you have any idea what your purpose in this place is? Stanley, you're in for quite a disappointment. But here's a spoiler for you. That timer isn't a catalyst to keep the action moving along. It's just seconds ticking away to your death. You're only still playing instead of watching a cutscene because I want to watch you for every moment that you're powerless. To see you made humble. This is not a challenge. It's a tragedy. You wanted to control this world, that's fine. But I'm going to destroy it first, so you can't. Take a look at the clock. That's 30 seconds you have left to struggle. 30 seconds until a big boom and then nothing.
뭐야 왜
No
그래?
ending here.
왜 시간 얼마 없어 야. 2초 남았어.
Will you cling desperately to your frail life? Or will you let it go peacefully?
야 이거 3만 원짜리 게임이란 말이야.
Make it count.
야 시작하지 20분밖에 안 됐단 말이야.
All a part of the
안
journey.
돼.
And believe me,
안 돼.
I won't be
게임
laughing
보기
at
싫어.
every second of your inevitable life from the moment we fade in until the moment I say, here we are.
꿈인가? 뭐야? 처음부터가? 아이씨.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
꿈이었어. 아주 못된 꿈을 꿨어. 3만 원 게임. 3만 원짜리 게임을 샀는데 플레이 15분 만에 끝났어. 상중가. 아, 야 이게 지금 여기로 안 가면 또 다를 수도 있어. 어? 문이 다 닫혀 있네. 어? 내가 끈 거 아니지? 가라는 대로 가야 되는구나. 이상한 게임을 다 봤네. 자, 가자. 가라는 대로 가야지 뭐. 문 열리. 어?
When Stanley came to a set of two open
짜장면
doors,
짬뽕.
he entered the door on his left.
이번엔 짬뽕으로.
This was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well.
사원이 계시냐?
Perhaps he wanted to stop by
다르다.
the employee
루트가 다르다.
lounge
루트가 다르다.
first, just to admire it.
좋아. 처음 본 스케치인가?
Yes, truly a room worth admiring. It had really been worth the detour after all, just to spend a few moments here in this immaculate, beautifully constructed room.
스케치 별로야.
Stanley simply stood here, drinking it all in.
음미해야 돼? 싫어.
But eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left.
이거? 그러면 이쪽으로 가야겠다. 어? 이거 말하는 거구나. 싫어. 일로 가자. 안 가!
Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago.
닥쳐! 제가 하라는 대로 해야 되나? 뭐야? 와, 여기 택배회사인가? 택배회사인가 보다.
Look, Stanley, I think perhaps we've gotten off on the wrong foot here. I'm not your enemy, really, I'm not. I realize that investing in your trust in someone else can be difficult, but the fact is that the story has been about nothing but you all this time. There's someone you've been neglecting, Stanley. Someone you've forgotten about. Please, stop trying to make every decision by yourself.
개 무서워.
I'm not asking for me,
옆쪽으로
I'm
뛰어내리라고?
asking for her.
아, 저기로? 죽지 않을까? 죽으면 또 엔딩곡이지? 한 대 3만원짜리 게임이야. 5분 만에 엔딩
Your
보시면
chance to redeem yourself,
그녀를
to
되찾으라.
put your work aside, to let her back into your life. She's been waiting.
저기요? 누구 계세요? 나 말고 다른 사람이 또 있어요? 어? 뭐야, 어두워. 야. 어두운데? 저기요? 야, 문 닫지 마! 야! 문 열어! 문 열어! 아, 이러면 안 되지! 안 돼! 불은 켜줘! 깜짝이야, 씨!
That's her, Stanley. You need to be the one to do this, to reach out to her. If you can truly place your faith in another, then pick up the phone.
싫어, 안 받아, 갈 거야. 나 내보내줘, 안 받아! 여보세요? 어?
Oh, Stanley, is that you? Hold on,
자기야,
sorry to
그래.
keep you waiting. I'm just pulling the butter out of the oven.
조금 이따 샤워해.
Okay,
샤워하지
there
말고
we go.
그냥 해.
All right, now I want you to come in and tell me all about your
어머, 그거.
Gotcha. Oh, come on. Did you actually think you had a loving wife who'd want to commit their life to you? I'm trying to make a point here, Stanley. I'm trying to get you to see something. Come inside. Let me show you what's really going on here.
다 벗은 줄 알고 개 좋아했네. 개 이쁜데?
This is a very sad story about the death of a man named Stanley.
남자의 죽음에 대한 매우 슬픈 이야기. 당신의 키보드에서 애를 누르세요. 그래 마누라 안녕. 오늘의 하루는 말이야. 일단 회사에 가서 책상에 앉아서 키보드를 눌렀어. 매우 즐거운 하루였지.
Stanley is quite a boring fellow. He has a job that demands nothing of him, and every button that he pushes is a reminder of the inconsequential nature of his existence.
방금도 누르라고 눌렀잖아. 생각해보니까 회사에서도 누르라는 것만 누르고 이러면 안 돼. 그러면 안 돼. 다른 걸 누르겠어. 2번 안 되네. 시킨 대로 해야 되는구나. 그래, 말 잘 들어야지.
Look at him there, pushing buttons, doing exactly what
아니,
he's told
그게 아니라
to do.
게임 자체가
Now
다른
he's
게임,
pushing
다른
buttons.
버튼 누를 수가
Now
없구만.
he's eating lunch. Now he's going
국군님 꽤
home.
고맙습니다.
Now he's coming back to work. One might even feel sorry for him, except that he's chosen this life.
엔딩이야? 아가씨 엔딩이에요? 갇힌 거야? 야, 말 좀 해봐요. 저기요, 초면에 실례합니다. 24살이고요 저기 저랑 하라는 대로 한 거밖에 없는데 저기요, 어떻게 참, 여기 물 좀 마셔도 될까? 뭐 어떡하란 말이야. 저기요, 말 좀 해봐요.
But in his mind, in his mind he can go on fantastic adventures.
그렇지.
From behind his desk, Stanley dreamed of wild expeditions into the unknown, fantastic discoveries of new lands. It was
굉장한
wonderful.
섬을
And each
찾아야지.
day that he returned to work was a reminder that none of it would ever happen to him.
TV가 있어? 아, 이거?
And so he began to fantasize about his own job. First, he imagined that one day while at work, he stepped up from his desk to realize that all of his co-workers, his boss, everyone in the building had suddenly vanished off the face of the earth. The thought excited him terribly.
애들이 있어요? 야, 임신했어요?
So he went further. He imagined that he came to two open doors and that he could go through either. At last, choice. It barely even mattered what lay behind each door. The mere thought that his decisions would mean something was almost too wonderful to behold.
저녁을 차리라고? 무슨 소리 하는 거야? 아무것도 없는데. 이상한 게임이네 이거. 잠깐만요. 다른 키를 못 누르나? 아, 누르지 말고 기다려보자. 기다리고 있으면 될 거야. 싫어! 네가 차려! 내가 저녁을 왜 차려? 가부장적 제도에서 말이야! 마누라가 있는데 말이야! 남편은 밖에서 일하고 임마! 마누라 집에서 뭐 하는데! 밥도 안 차려놓고 저녁도 안 차려놓고 씨. 그래, 내가
As he
차려야지.
wandered through this fantasy world, he began to fill it with many possible paths and destinations. Down one path lay an enormous round room with monitors and mind controls. And down another was a yellow line that weaved in many directions. And down another was a game with a baby.
다른
And he called it
숲길로
the
내려가면 여러
Stanley
방향으로 나가는
Parable.
노란색 스탠리 워라고 불렀어요. 그래 얘들아, 나도 정신병 걸리는 것 같다. 그래 얘들아 어딨니? 여기 있구나 우리 영숙이. 그래 우리 수키. 그래 아빠가 이야기 들려줄게. 스탠리 우아란다.
It was such
아빠
a wonderful
재밌다.
fantasy,
이거
and so in
정말
his head
멋진
he
판타지여서.
relived it again and then again.
그래 옛날에
and again,
옛날에.
over and over, wishing beyond hope that it would never end, that he
그래서
might
뭔데? 이 얘기가
always
뭔데,
feel
그래서?
this free. Surely there's an answer down some new path, mustn't there be? Perhaps if he played just one more time.
그치야? 그래 마누라 사랑해. 그래.
But there
우리
is no answer. How could there possibly be?
우리 경숙이
In
어딨어?
reality, all he's doing is pushing the same buttons
왜
he
또
always
여기야?
has. Nothing has
왜 또 이
changed.
책상이야?
The longer he spends here, the more invested he gets. The more he forgets which life is the real one.
잘래 씨.
And I'm trying to tell him this, that in this world he can never be anything but an observer, that as long as he remains here, he's slowly killing himself. But he won't listen to me. He won't stop. Here, Watch this. Stanley, the next time the screen asks you to push a button, do not do it.
누르지 말라며. 아, 다시. 안녕.
You see? Can he just not hear me? How can I tell him in a way that he'll understand that every second he remains here, he's electing to kill himself? How can I get him to see what I see? How can I make him look at himself? I suppose I can't, not in the way I want him to. But I don't make the rules. I simply play to my intended purpose, the same as Stanley. We're not so different, I suppose.
여보세요?
I'll try once more to convey all this to him. I'm compelled to. I must. Perhaps, well, maybe this time he'll see.
이게 무슨 게임이야, 임마! 연씨야, 이 새끼야!
And I tried again, and Stanley pushed a button. And I tried again, and Stanley pushed a button.
어떻게 죽어?
And I tried.
어? 죽었다. 뭐 죽었어.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean?
세 번째.
Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
상추네.
Yet there was not a single person here either.
당연하지 없지.
Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office.
좋아,
Coming
사무실로
to a
가볼. 오케이.
staircase,
아, 아래층도
Stanley
있네.
walked upstairs to
줄!
his boss's office.
뭐야 이거? 주차장이다.
But Stanley just couldn't do it. He considered the possibility of facing his boss, admitting he had left his
이걸
post
할지도 몰라.
during work hours.
사장 녀석이
He might be
내 얼굴을
fired for
보면
that.
못생겼다고 해고
And in
할지도
such
몰라.
a competitive economy,
도망쳐야겠어.
why had he taken that risk? All because he believed everyone had vanished? His boss would think he was
좋아,
crazy.
이걸 탈취하게.
And then something occurred to Stanley. Maybe,
아까
he
거기
thought
아니야?
to himself, maybe
좋아, 이것을
I am
탈취할 거야.
crazy. All of my co-workers
사장은
blinking
볼 수 없어.
mysteriously out of existence in a single moment for no reason at all.
좋아,
None of
탈출하겠어.
it made any
누구나
logical
출구.
sense. And as Stanley pondered this, he began to make other strange observations. For example, why couldn't he see his feet when he looked down?
그러게.
Why did doors close automatically behind him wherever he went?
그러게, 야, 발이 없다.
And for that matter, these rooms were starting to look pretty familiar. Were they simply repeating? No, Stanley said to himself, this is all too strange. This can't be real. And at last, he came to the conclusion that had been on the tip of his tongue. He just hadn't found the words for it.
계속 돌아다니네
I'm
이거.
dreaming!
이 꿈이야.
This is all a dream!
트윙글.
Stanley felt to have finally found an answer, an explanation. His co-workers weren't actually gone. He wasn't going to lose his
어떻게 이걸?
job. He wasn't crazy after all. And he thought to himself, I suppose I'll wake up soon. I'll have to go back to my boring real-life job pushing buttons. I may as well enjoy this while I'm still lucid. So, he imagined himself flying and began to gently float above the ground. Then he imagined himself soaring through space on a magical starfield, and it too appeared. It was so much fun. And Stanley marveled that he had still not woken up. How was he remaining so lucid? And then perhaps the strangest question of them all entered Stanley's head. One he was amazed he hadn't asked himself sooner. Why is there a voice in my head dictating everything that I'm doing and thinking? Now the voice was describing itself being considered by Stanley, who found it particularly strange. I'm dreaming about a voice describing me, thinking about how it's describing my thoughts, he thought. And while he thought it all very odd and wondered if this voice spoke to all people in their dreams, the truth was that, of course, this was not a dream. How could it be? Was Stanley simply deceiving himself? Believing that if he's asleep, he doesn't have to take responsibility for himself? Stanley is as awake right now as he's ever been in his life. Now, hearing the voice speak these words was quite a shock to Stanley. After all, he knew for certain, beyond a doubt, that this was in
아니야,
fact
꿈이야!
a dream.